Hello children, today's story is The Very Noisy Night. It was the middle of the night and Big Mouse was fast asleep in his bed. Little Mouse was wide awake in his bed. Big Mouse, called Little Mouse. I can hear something rushing around the house, huffing and puffing. Big Mouse opened one eye and one ear. It's only the wind, he said. Can I come in your bed? Asked Little Mouse. No, said Big Mouse. There isn't enough room. And he turned over and went back to sleep. Little Mouse lay listening to the wind. Then suddenly, between a huff and a puff, came a tap, 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 tap. Little Mouse climbed out of bed, opened the front door just to crack, and peeped outside. Whoosh! Went the wind, but there was no one outside. Big Mouse! Big Mouse! called Little Mouse. I can hear someone tapping. Perhaps there's a burglar on the roof. Big Mouse got out of bed and opened the bedroom curtains. Look, he said, it's only a branch tapping on the window. Go back to sleep. Can I come in your bed? Asked Little Mouse. No, said Big Mouse. You wriggle. Little Mouse lay in his own bed and listened as the wind huffing and puffing and the branch tap-tapping and someone going, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. Little Mouse climbed out of bed again, and this time he looked under it. Then he looked in the wardrobe, and feeling very frightened, he cried, Big Mouse! Big Mouse! I think there's a ghost in the house, and it's looking for me. It keeps calling, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. Big Mouse sighed and sat up and listened. It's only an owl, he said. It's awake like you. Oh, can I come into your bed? Asked Little Mouse. No, said Big Mouse. Your paws are always cold. And Big Mouse pulled the blanket over his head and went back to sleep. Little Mouse got back into his own bed and laid and listened to the wind huffing and puffing, the branch tap-tapping, the owl hooting, but shh! What's that? Big Mouse! Big Mouse! He called. I think it's raining inside. And Little Mouse jumped out of bed and fetched his red umbrella. Big Mouse got out of bed too. He opened the front door. Be quiet, wind, he said. Be quiet, branch. Be quiet, owl. But they took no notice. Then Big Branch went into the kitchen, turned off the dripping tap, put away the umbrella. Can I come into your bed? Asked Little Mouse. No, you're nice and snug in your own bed, said Big Mouse, taking him back to his bedroom. Little Mouse laid awake in the wind huffing and puffing and the branch tap-tapping and the owl hooting, and just as he was beginning to feel very, very sleepy, he heard, Big Mouse! Big Mouse! You're snoring! Wearily, Big Mouse got up. He put on his earmuffs on Little Mouse's ears and put a paperclip on his own nose and went back to bed. Little Mouse laid and listened too. Nothing. It was very, very quiet. He couldn't hear the owl. He couldn't hear the wind. He couldn't hear the branch hooting or Big Mouse snoring. It was so quiet that Little Mouse felt like the world was all alone. He took off his earmuffs, got out of bed, pulled the paperclip off of Big Mouse's nose. Big Mouse! Big Mouse! He cried. I'm lonely. Big Mouse flung back the blanket. "Better come into my bed then," he said. So Little Mouse hopped in, and his paws were cold, and he needed just a little wriggle before he fell fast asleep. Big Mouse lay and listened to the wind huffing and puffing, and the branch tapping, and the owl hooting, and Little Mouse snuffling, and very soon he heard the birds waking up, but neither of them heard the alarm clock, because they were both fast asleep. Bye-bye, children.